Hi guys, if you have had a chance to restart your Navigator system lately, I'm sure you've probably noticed that there is an update available for the Navigator teacher software program on your computer, as well as the handheld calculators, the TI Nspires themselves. We do want to go ahead and update these systems as soon as possible, especially if you receive any files from me that you need to send out or that you would like to use. They are going to use the updated system, so in order to send those files to your students and have them interact with them, they will need to have the updated system as well. Now, in order to update my system, I can do this from either the CAS Navigator or from the Navigator itself, the original Navigator. It doesn't matter. Either one of those is going to work just fine for you. I am using the CAS Navigator. Either way, it should work just fine. So we're going to go through the process of updating your TI Nspire handhelds right now. So the first thing that I want to do is actually end the class that I have started. If I have a class in session, it's actually not going to allow me to do a mass transfer of any files. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this at a time when students aren't logged in. You can do it while students are in class. It's best if they're not using the calculators, of course. So I've ended my class. Now I'm going to go over to Tools. This process is actually very simple once you see how to do it. Up to Tools, down to Transfer Tool. Transfer tool is probably my best friend when I need to send something out to my calculators, um, when I need to send mass files out to my calculators. You can send many files at once. You can send the operating system, things like that. So here I have my transfer tool window. I'm going to go up to Add Transfer, Add to Transfer List, and this is where you're going to select which files you want to transfer. So right here I have my desktop. I have my file saved directly to my desktop, so I'm going to stay right there. And it's right here now. Hopefully you saved yours to the desktop or to another place that is easy for you to remember. You should have already done that before you started the video. Remember, you can always find the operating system file either on the TI website. You can do a Google search for it and it will come up, or you can check for an email from me, or you can find it on the K drive. There are many different places you can find it. If you're having trouble finding it, let me know and I can bring a flash drive down with the file and we can do it that way as well. So I have the operating system file selected. It's right here. I'm going to press select, and that's going to add it to my transfer list. This is the file that's going to be transferred. Now, we have this option here to delete all of our files and folders before transfer. If you would like to clean your calculators out and delete anything that the students might have saved, or files that you sent out but haven't deleted, or whatever the case may be, now would be a good time to do that. You don't have to. I'm actually not going to do so. However, if you do have files that you want to save, you're actually okay to do that. You can update your operating system without deleting your files. It's not going to affect any files that are already on your calculator. So for instance, if you have the mastery tests on your calculators and your students are interacting with those, instead of deleting it and sending them back out, you can leave them there, update the operating system. It's not going to affect any of those files. It's only going to affect the files that actually determine how the system operates. Anything that the students interact with will survive through the update. So no worries there. I'm not going to delete my files right now. I'm just going to go ahead and update my system. So I'm going to click Start Transfer, and it's that simple. We want to make sure that we update the calculators before we update the navigator system, because this way I'm allowed to use the transfer tool. If I update the system before I update the calculators themselves, so if I update my program first, it can't interact with my calculators through the transfer tool. So this is the vastly easier way to do it. Now I should mention I didn't do anything special here. I didn't disconnect any of my caps. I didn't connect anything directly to the computer. My yellow caps are still connected. They're in their chargers and they are just waiting for the file to be sent. Now you can see here this says 0 of 1. I actually only have one calculator connected to this system because I'm not in my classroom, and it's actually going to go fairly quickly for just one or two calculators. If you have more, say 30 or 40, this entire process of updating the calculators themselves will take about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. As the calculators begin to finish, like that one just did, it will speed up, it will free up some memory for the other calculators, and it will advance through the other calculators much, much more quickly. So you can see here this says 1 of 1. That means my transfer is done. Once yours says 30 of 30 or 40 of 40, however many calculators you have, your system is completely updated and you can go ahead and you can stop your transfer. Now, on my calculators themselves, if you take a look at your calculator, you'll see that it says installing operating system, you can now unplug. This is normal. This is good. My calculator will actually go through and complete the update process itself. It will restart on its own. It will do everything on its own. You don't need to touch anything on the calculators whatsoever. As long as you have the correct number here, and the correct number started and finished, you're good to go. So I'm going to stop my transfer. And that's it. I'm going to let my calculators do their thing. Since they have all received the file and are now going through the process of updating and restarting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to update my Navigator software. So this is the one that's actually on my computer itself. So to do this, I'm going to go up to Help. I'm going to go down to Check for Software Updates. And it says that mine is actually already up to date. However, I can say this is a very easy process. I don't have access to a computer where I can show you how to go through the transfer process, the update process itself. All of my computers have already been updated. I'm sorry. However, if you're having difficulty with this, give me a call. You know the drill, 4286. This is a very easy process to go through, though. You just follow the prompts right on screen. The only thing that you need to worry about is, as with any time you are updating any software on your computer at all, you want to make sure that you've closed all of the windows that you have open, whatever they may be. Your system might need to update. You might need to restart partway through the update process in order to complete the update process. So you want to make sure that you're not losing anything. And then also, this is going to use the system uses Flash, so it's actually going to need to shut down anything in order to update the Flash as well. So you want to make sure especially that you have all of your internet browsers closed. So close down Chrome, close down Internet Explorer before you go through this process. Now, the process is also going to inform you that you need to uninstall the current Navigator program in order to install the new one. That is normal. We want to go ahead and do that, so click yes there, click continue, whatever the prompt is, and go ahead and go through that process. All of your files will survive this. All of your students will still be in your system. They'll still be logged in. All of your class records will still be there. Your portfolio will still be there. Everything will still be available for you to work with. All of this data is actually in a separate file that is not affected at all by the system update. So once you've gone through and have done this, you should have your calculators completely updated. You should have your teacher software updated. If you do one, you have to do the other in order to communicate between the two. So I can't update my calculators and use the system, send students files and things, unless I have also updated the teacher software. You want to make sure that you do both at the same time. You can start the teacher software update, and once it is loading, once you have a progress bar, you can actually more than likely leave for the night and come back in the morning and it should be updated for you. That process can sometimes take 20 to 30 minutes depending on how slow your computer is. So you do want to make sure that you have your computer available for a good amount of time in order to complete that process. that is it. It's actually quite simple. Give me a call if you have any questions. I hope that this video helped out, and have fun using the new system. It's just a few updates, nothing major, but I think the system runs a lot more smoothly now that we have done this. Enjoy.